welcome to this week's ScubaTube. In this week's show, Shaun and myself are going to talk about a couple selling everything they own, then jumping on a boat. There's been evidence of shark abuse from fishermen. I'll talk about the product that you guys picked for this week's vote, and of course the Kickstarter pick of the week, which I picked this week. So let's dive straight into the news.
So 3 fishermen in Singer Island have been caught doing something rather disgusting and despicable. Now, before your mind starts to wonder, they were filmed catching a shark.
Yeah. So the shark in question was a great hammerhead, which you know is on the endangered list. They're of course illegal to fish or capture. But a woman from the National Geographic recorded the 3 fishermen catching the hammerhead, dragging it to shore, and then having their pictures taken with it.
Yeah, so then they dragged it back into the waters. The shark, of course, was delirious and honestly probably very tired from the ordeal, and no doubt it's going to wash back on shore, dead. Probably. All of this just for a picture.
Yeah. We're seeing it more and more, unfortunately. It's that whole kind of selfie culture. It's like, oh,
let's get a selfie with a massive hammerhead.
Oh, it looks like it's struggling to breathe.
But it doesn't matter, I want my selfie.
So people are now watching the shores near where the incident happened to see if the shark has washed up dead. Fingers crossed it doesn't. But if it does, then the 3 people that get caught, or that did catch the great hammerhead, are actually in some serious trouble, which is good to hear.
It is. Even if the shark doesn't wash back up, they really should make an example of the 3 fishermen, so then others don't follow suit. And sadly, this seems to be a real trend for the area. Over the past 5 years, over 20 hammerheads have actually been washed up on the shores dead, and it's believed that it's from this selfie, taking pictures. It's fine, let's just drag it out of their home. They don't need to breathe.
Yeah,
we'll lift its head up, we'll take some pictures. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Okay, so let's move on to something else. Some freedivers, or as they like to sort of be called, mermaids. This is a big thing nowadays. You can actually be a professional mermaid.
I know, we've covered it in many weird Wednesdays.
So these mermaids have come under some serious fire over some pictures of themselves in May Yai Bay.
On their Instagram feed, they show pictures of themselves sitting on rocks, enjoying the underwater world. So what is wrong with that? Well, the rock they sat on isn't rock, it's coral that's taken hundreds, if not thousands of years to grow.
Officers found the group shortly after, then found out about the pictures, and the group was fined about 1,500 BT, which I think is baht, which is roughly £34.
About that, yeah, £34 and like 20 something pence.
So that doesn't seem very much. Anyway, it seems that this area has a real problem with people touching the coral, and a lot of the coral in the waters is now in a sort of restricted area to keep it safe.
They've ever since 1995 they've been blockading parts of the coral off to let it grow to stop people from touching it, breaking it. The area where the mermaids where they were being mermaids was actually for only scuba diving only, so they shouldn't have been in there. To which most obviously follow the rules, being scuba divers, they don't touch the coral. But you know, if more free divers and possibly more newbie divers keep touching the coral, the site could close for all. So just don't touch it.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that a lot of areas are sort of closing off. It's like, right, we're going to give this area time to rest.
Exactly, it's good that they've done that, but
how do you enforce it?
But having an area dedicated, you know, by all means, go free diving there, go diving there. Just respect the coral. It's older than you. It's been on this earth longer than you. So don't ruin it. Plus, as well, we're getting rid of all the coral. Guess what, guys? No oxygen for us. We die.
Okay, so the votes are in. They've all been counted, and the winner of last week's vote with 47%. That's almost half of the votes.
No way, is it? Woo! Woo!
Is the Santi BZ200 heated vest. So heated vest is okay. So the Santi one has a external battery. You buy that separate, so you can choose either a small little 6 amp hour or like all the way up to like a 24 amp hour. It has to go through your dry suit, so you either have to get like a thermovalve, which replaces your inflation valve, or the connector. That basically allows the power to come through your suit and then into this heated vest. So it's great because you can control it from the outside. I have heard horror stories of some like self-contained heated vests going wrong, and because it's inside your dry suit and you're in the water, you can't get to it. Which with this one, if something goes wrong, you can just disconnect it.
Cool. That's always a good option to have.
You've got heating coils on the front and the back, and the vest itself is kind of quilted, so it's got some thermal properties of its own. So you don't actually need to switch on to benefit. Now there are some sort of debates online as to whether externally heated vests are good or bad based on like decompression, because it's going to accelerate decompression. So
I think with that sort of thing as well, it all depends on your own body heat, your body mass. There's so many, because everything's personal. It's great to kind of keep you warm on like extended dives, but of course you have to take that into account with accelerated decompression. Or just take a radiator.
An
oil-filled radiator, just
radiator.
with an extension cord. I think that'll be fine.
Nothing will go wrong. But yeah, your core is the most important. As long as you keep this warm, then warm blood will sort of heat everything else up.
It doesn't matter about your limbs. You've got to keep the heart and the lungs and all your organs.
Yeah, it's nice in the water when you've got that external heating.
Does it feel like, because when I get in a car, and someone
like
doesn't
wet yourself.
Yeah, does it feel like that when someone no one tells me that they've put the car heat, like the seat heat, when I'm like, oh my god, I think I'll wet myself.
No, it's just kind of like.
Does it feel weird?
No, it starts off slow, and you just get this like radiating heat from your chest, which is nice. The gloves are the best though.
Yeah.
Because they have under dry gloves they have like individual coils up each finger, and
there you go, guys.
Yeah, they're nice.
Get yourself nice. But yeah, overall,
cool. Yeah, definitely. If you're a dry suit diver and you want to sort of extend the season that you can dive in, then a heating vest makes a world of difference.
Cool, excellent. So voting is now open again. So yeah, you guys know what to do, especially you guys over on Facebook up there. So our last story is a bit of a sad one. It's nothing to do with scuba diving, but it has something to do with a boat. So it kind of counts. It's water. Anyway, a Colorado couple decided one day to sell everything they own, buy a boat, and live off the sea.
That's cool. Yeah. One day. So that sounds like an awesome plan, but sadly it didn't go to plan. So first off, they did it, which is great. Sold everything, bought a boat. They set sail and everything was great.
So living the dream.
Yeah, for about a day. Day two, the couple Tanner Broadwell and Nikki Walsh were cruising along until they hit something that was about sort of 8 to 9 feet long that they weren't really expecting.
They were in John's Pass, stop laughing, in Madeira Beach when the accident happened. Their 28-foot sailboat then started to take in water. They grabbed what they could, called for help, and waited. A ship arrived an hour later, but the water was so shallow, so they couldn't approach it.
The only option they had was to jump ship and leave their new boat behind to capsize. It cost them around $10,000 to make their dream come true, and luckily this hasn't sort of put them off. The boat sank, they say, but our dreams didn't sink with it. So yeah, that's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, and their little dog too survived.
The little pug. Yeah, I think what they did was they literally grabbed their ID, grabbed the cash, grabbed the dog, called for help, and kind of sat there. So hopefully, the thing is though, it's going to cost around a couple of grand to get the boat out of the water.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, just a couple of strops. Yeah, a couple of strops, and sort of mend it. But the water damage is going to be.
Yeah, there's no point. You just have to burn it, set it on fire, just buy a new one. Have you got more stuff? Oh wait, you sold everything. Buy some stuff to then sell it. Anyway, so that's a sad story. Bless them. Hopefully they'll be on the water soon, and hopefully you just don't hit anything. So anyway, Mark, it's Kickstarter time. What do you have for this week?
Yes. So we have the Scuba Jet, which is basically it has ended. It did reach its target, and it's basically a self-contained DPV that you can kind of mount to the underside of your surfboard, the underside of your rib, if you've got a powerful enough or small enough rib. And you can also use it scuba diving. It's cool. It's just like this little torpedo that you attach yourself to, and it just...
Yeah, because I mean, like the Sea-Doos and stuff, they're cool, but they're massive, chunky.
Yeah.
They're like, I am a scuba diver. Well, this is like, I'm a scuba diver.
Yeah. Yeah, they usually require sort of 1 or 2 hands. And... but this one, no, you just sort of attach yourself to it, and it's like remote control, so you can control it from above. Yeah, it's kind of cool just watching someone on a stand-up paddleboard, just kind of like just cruising along.
Like, what sort of sorcery is this? You're not paddling.
There is a cooler one that I was originally looking for, and it's like hydrofoils, so you actually lift out of the water, and you kind of zoom along that.
We'll try and find that for next week.
Yeah.
That'd be my pick. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, we'd all like one.
It's cool that it's versatile. You know, you stand up paddle boards, just playing around.
Yeah, it's got different mounting options, and
Yeah.
It's obviously got a kill switch, so if you fall off, it doesn't just...
It kills you.
So that's it for ScubaTube, done for another week. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. If you're watching this on Facebook, why not give it a thumbs up? And to our awesome YouTube family, don't forget to like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Safe diving. Bye.
Number 4. Attached at the hip. At the beginning of your diving career, you'll spend your entire time in the water right next to your instructor. As soon as you qualify though, you'll have to go off by yourself, which is weird. So newbie divers will often be at the front of the column, focusing a little more on the dive guide than the dive itself. Give them time to get used to being by themselves. After a little time they start to wander off and they stray from the herd, spending time exploring and actually enjoying the sport instead of just following the leader.